The next exciting thing that's coming up is on the 21st, the new moon in Libra, and that's what we're going to talk about today. What I also want to talk about today is the larger picture, where we're coming from and where we're going. So let's think about all the eclipses that we've been through, all the beautiful energy that we've been through, that kind of fiery Aries energy. That's where we're stepping off of, that kind of newness, the new potentiality of Aries, the I amness, the sovereignty, right? Stepping into our own bodies, taking our power back, and then also looking forward to the end of the year and into 2026. So stay tuned. Hey, my name is Marie and welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Super excited that you're here. And today we're going to discuss some astrology, astronomy, and some energy, because that's what I like to do in all of my energetic updates, so to speak. So let's focus on, there's a few really exciting things that are happening on the 21st of this month. So I first want to start off by talking about Pluto being in semi-square to the North Node. And when something is in relationship to the North Node, it means that it's going to become more on the public stage, kind of, right? So Pluto is the planet of power traditionally, and so it asks the question, it begs the question, where does the power lie? Does it lie with you? Remember that sovereignty of Aries, right? The I amness. Or does it lie with external factors, organizations, religions, governments, right? So kind of balancing that power. And we also know that Pluto is out of bounds to the south, which has been shown through research in astrology for thousands of years backwards. There's a beautiful astrologer in the US that have done this research, and she's gone back thousands and thousands of years and seen that when Pluto is out of bounds to the south, it's power back to the people. So that's what we're going to see. Regardless of all the things that you're seeing in your external, you're going to know that we're slowly bringing back the power towards us. So that's what this whole fall is about, I would say. It's about bringing back your focus, bringing back your intention, and bringing back your power to you so that you can become the creator. So that's the first big thing that's happening on the 21st. The second big thing that I find so fascinating is that Neptune goes back on the day of the 21st into 0.0, so 0 degrees, 0 minutes of Aries. And Aries is the planet of pure potentiality, as we talked about a little bit before. What does that mean? It means that now is the time for new beginning, right? Now is the time for infinite potential, for true potentiality of bringing something new forth, right? It's kind of like, think about it as starting from scratch, like putting aside the book that you had, starting a whole new book, starting a whole new painting, starting a whole new part of your life. So I think that is really beautiful. That in conjunction with bringing back the power to you, I mean, think about what we can do then, right? If we have those two things working for us. What's also happening, which I find fascinating, and I talked about it in another movie, is the three-eye atlas, right? We know it's hurtling through our solar system, and lo and behold, on the 21st, it's in a perfect superior conjunction to us. So if you imagine it, it's kind of like far out there behind the sun in a straight line. So you have on the 21st, you'll have the three-eye atlas, then the sun, then the moon, because it's a new moon, and then planet Earth. So we're going to be in a perfect straight superior conjunction to each other. And you can watch many other movies out there about the three-eye atlas. What I find so fascinating about this is, number one, it's coming from so far away. It's not like, as far as we know, on a loop, it's not going to come back like some comets that come around every so often. And it has a bunch of other comets behind it, right? So it's as if, all this beautiful consciousness, this deep knowledge, wisdom from deep out of space, it's coming at us exactly now that we're at this beautiful, pure potentiality, and we're in the process of bringing back our power. And what I find so fascinating too is, so now we're in a superior conjunction, but at the end of the year, on our winter solstice, which happens on the 21st of December, it's going to be the closest to Earth. So 2 days before that, it's in its orbit, it's closest to Earth. How beautiful is that? I mean, if you start to listen to people who've been talking about this sort of great awakening that is happening to humanity, which I, by the way, see every single day. I get emails from people, I talk to people, this is happening, you guys. It is been foretold to kind of happen at this moment in time, and we're in preparation right now. This fall, this is when we start to make our choices. This is when we start to put our intention. This is when we bring back our power. And so it's so beautiful that this bearer of ancient wisdom, who also has the potential to open up our heart chakra, bring in more wisdom through the heart, arrives now. And it arrives in such beautiful ways. It's perfectly aligned with our astrology, with our astronomy, and it comes close to our Earth. And I think that's absolutely gorgeous. So these are the things that I find like amazing on the 21st, right? So think about what you can do with this. You have planets that are in their pure potentiality. Neptune, right? It's in 0.0 of Aries, which means that you now have the power of Aries to use the malleability of Neptune, and I've talked about this in previous videos, to create a new world, a new dream life, a new world for you and for everyone around you. I don't think we've ever had such potential in this written in the stars that we can then infuse into our lives. What does that mean for you? I think what it means is put a new intention for sure on the 21st or before or around that time, right? It's energy, so it's around. It doesn't like turn on and off in 2 seconds. And figure out, what do you want for the world? What do you want for yourself? What do you want for people around you? Write that intention down, repeat it in meditation, repeat it in chants, whatever it is that you can do. Do a shamanic ritual where you maybe write it on a piece of paper and you burn it up. Make sure you're safe, fire safety, and release it into nature, right? Use this point in time to use your I amness, your power, to bring your vision forth into this world. And then prepare yourself for 2026. Because what's coming, so this is your preparation ground, right? These 3 months, October, November, December, is when you're going to get ready to birth that new consciousness that we as humanity so desperately need, right? To turn on all of our multidimensionality and so on, all of our technologies that we have in our beautiful biological body, this human vessel that we are sitting in front of you right now and are sitting right where you are right now, right? We're one of the same. So moving into 2026, what you're going to see after you've done this preparation inside of you and inside, in putting your intention into the world, is that in 2026, all the outer planets, so Saturn and outwards, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, and many of the dwarf planets, they have been going back and forth into their signs this year. This is why this year, 2025, which is a 9 year. If you take 2 plus 2 plus 5, that's 9, right? So in numerology, it's 9, which means it's a year of beginning and endings, right? Beginning and endings. So the planets have been going back and forth into signs, back and forth, which is why we've been feeling like we're kind of in a grind, right? It's like, oh, I got this realization, and then, oh, I'm back over here in my trigger. Got this realization, oh, back over here in my trigger, right? So we're now sort of moving through that 9 year, and then 2026 is going to have completely different energies, which is why it's so important for you to birth the new you right now, right? Prepare the grounds, be like a gardener, go out there and scrape the ground. And it's like, okay, I'm going to plant next spring, right? So 2026, all those outer planets are, by the time we get to February and then April, all of those planets are going to be in their new signs, which means you're going to have a completely new runway, so to speak. It's not like all of your problems are going to disappear, all the world's problems are going to be disappearing, but we're going to have a fresh new start, a fresh new energy, an energy that feels very different, like we're all moving forward into a sign, right? And those signs are also in fire and water, so they're going to be fast-moving signs, right? It's not like old, slow signs. It's almost like the old is gone. It's not going backwards into an old planet. It's definitely now moving forwards into a new planet and into a new life for you. So remember that this might feel hard right now. It might feel chaotic. It might feel difficult. But next year, 2026, you're definitely moving into a ton of new energy. And the work that you're doing now, the intention you're putting in now, is going to pay off once we get into that new year. Okay? So don't forget to set your intention. And remember that we're moving into a beautiful space. Be excited. Be happy, regardless of what you see on the news. In fact, I would recommend turn it off because it only brings you down, and it really has nothing new to tell you, right? We know it's awful. We know there's war. We know there's fear. We know there's all these things going on. But we need to start to protect our own energy, bring it back to us so that we can birth a new earth. Because remember, it starts in here. This is the upside down world that we live in. We think that we can affect things out here. We can't, right? We have to bring the energy back. And as soon as you update and upgrade and heal in here, which is why that's so important, then you start to see a whole new world out there, because the world is a mirror of you. So imagine if all of humanity starts to heal, do inner work, connect to their heart, connect their mind and their heart together, then we'll start to birth a whole new world, because we're going to be vibrating differently. So thank you for listening. If you have any thoughts, ideas, comments, I'm happy to answer any questions if I can. Leave them below, and then we'll see each other soon again in another video. Namaste.